Muscle car fans, get ready, because what you're about to see might just change the game forever. The legendary Plymouth Cuda, a name that once ruled American streets, is making a comeback for 2026. And it's not just a re-release, it's a full-blown rebirth. Packed with raw power, modern tech, and a design that screams attitude, this isn't your grandfather's Cuda. But does it truly live up to the legend? Or is it just hype? Let's find out. The name Plymouth Cuda has always carried serious weight in American muscle car history. First roaring onto the scene in the late 1960s, the Cuda wasn't just another car, it was a street icon, the kind of machine that turned heads and dominated drag strips. Fast forward to today, and Chrysler has decided it's time to bring that legend back to life for a whole new generation. Enter the 2026 Plymouth Cuda 440, a car designed to fuse raw, old-school muscle with the kind of modern innovation drivers demand in today's market. Now, this isn't just a nostalgic throwback or a design exercise for collectors. The new Cuda is targeting a broad spectrum of enthusiasts, from die-hard gearheads who crave that V8 rumble, to younger drivers who want cutting-edge tech wrapped inside an unmistakably bold package. What makes this launch even more significant is the timing. With so many performance brands leaning toward electrification, Plymouth's decision to come back with a full-power muscle car says a lot about where the brand wants to stand. But here's the real question. Does the 2026 Cuda strike the perfect balance between heritage and progress? Or is it trying too hard to cash in on nostalgia? In just a moment, we're diving deep into its design, features, and performance to see if it truly earns its legendary badge. Now let's get into what really matters. What makes the 2026 Plymouth Cuda 440 such a big deal? At first glance, the design alone makes a bold statement. Wide, low, and muscular, the body lines immediately pay tribute to the original Cuda, but with sharper edges and modern aerodynamics. The front fascia is aggressive, with a massive grille flanked by sleek LED headlights that almost look like they're glaring at you. Move around to the side, and those flared fenders and deep-cut body panels remind you this car isn't here to blend in. It's here to dominate. Step inside, and the theme continues. The cabin is unapologetically driver-focused, combining retro-inspired touches with modern luxury. Think sculpted sports seats wrapped in leather and suede, an updated pistol grip shifter, and digital displays that give you every bit of info you could want without feeling cluttered. It's the kind of interior that feels both nostalgic and futuristic, almost like Plymouth built it with two generations in mind, the classic purist and the modern enthusiast. But of course, the real firepower is under the hood. Plymouth didn't play it safe here. The 2026 Cuda 440 packs a naturally aspirated V8 pushing out over 500 horsepower, paired with an updated suspension system that keeps the ride surprisingly composed. This isn't just brute force. It's controlled aggression. Launch it off the line, and the acceleration pins you to your seat, yet it still feels planted through corners, a balance not every muscle car manages to achieve. Technology hasn't been ignored either. The Cuda comes with adaptive driving modes, a high-resolution infotainment system with wireless everything, and a safety suite that finally brings this legend up to modern standards. It's not trying to be a tech-heavy luxury cruiser like a Tesla, but it offers just enough convenience to make daily driving practical. Of course, no car is perfect. While the performance is thrilling, fuel economy is exactly what you'd expect from a V8, far from efficient. The rear seats are more symbolic than functional, and the trunk space won't win any awards either. It's clear Plymouth wanted to stay true to the muscle car ethos. Power first, practicality second, and here's where things get really interesting. While the Cuda brings back that nostalgic rumble and raw power, Plymouth has hinted at a possible hybrid or even electric variant down the line. Imagine the same aggressive stance, but with instant EV torque. Will that dilute the legend or redefine it for the next era? Stick around, because in the next section we'll break down the key highlights and drawbacks of this car in even more detail, including one surprising limitation that might just change how you see the Cuda 440. And then comes the moment of truth, the real-world test. On paper, the 2026 Plymouth Cuda 440 promises pure muscle, but numbers alone don't tell the story. The instant you hit the throttle, the car roars to life with a sound that feels less like an engine and more like a battle cry. 0 to 60 comes in just under 4 seconds. And it doesn't just sprint. It surges forward with the kind of brute force that leaves you gripping the wheel tighter than you expected. Through the corners, the surprise is even greater. Muscle cars of the past were notorious for straight-line speed but clumsy handling. The new CUDA flips that script. The updated suspension and chassis tuning give it a confidence you don't normally associate with raw American muscle. It feels planted, sharp, and almost eager to take on the bends. For the first time, you don't just want to drag race this car, you want to carve up back roads with it. But here's where expectations get challenged. While the performance thrills, it comes at a cost. The cabin noise at high revs is relentless. Fuel efficiency dips into the single digits when you push it. And the ride is firm enough to remind you this is no cushy daily driver. In other words, Plymouth has stayed unapologetically true to muscle car DNA. Power first, compromise later. So, does the 2026 CUDA 440 live up to its legendary nameplate? In many ways, yes. It redefines what a modern muscle car can be. But is it flawless? Not even close. And it's in that tension between the legend reborn and the modern demands that the real story of this car comes alive. Which brings us to the final question. Is this the muscle car worth buying in 2026? So, after putting the 2026 Plymouth CUDA 440 through its paces, where does it really stand? Simply put, this car is a bold reminder that the spirit of American muscle is far from gone. It's loud, unapologetic, and overflowing with character in a market where many performance cars are moving towards silence and electrification. For enthusiasts who crave raw horsepower, retro-inspired design, and that visceral driving thrill, the CUDA delivers in a way few modern vehicles can. The pros are undeniable. Jaw-dropping acceleration, aggressive styling that turns heads anywhere, and handling that finally brings the muscle car formula into the 21st century. The interior blends nostalgia with just enough tech to keep it practical, and the overall presence of the car makes it feel like an instant classic, but it's not without drawbacks. Fuel economy is predictably poor, rear seat space is more symbolic than useful, and the ride can be harsh if you're expecting daily comfort. It's not the car for someone who wants efficiency, luxury, or subtlety. It's a car for drivers who want every mile to feel like a statement. In the bigger picture, the return of the CUDA represents something more than just a single launch. It shows there's still room in the US market for bold, heritage-driven performance cars, even as the industry shifts toward EVs and hybrids. It's a balancing act, celebrating the past while cautiously eyeing the future. So, is the 2026 Plymouth CUDA 440 the ultimate muscle car of our time? That depends on what you value most. If you want brute force wrapped in a legend skin, this is your car. If you want practicality, you'll need to look elsewhere. But now I want to hear from you. Does the new CUDA live up to the legend, or is it riding on nostalgia? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed the review, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the cars shaping tomorrow's roads. What happens when a brand known for ultimate luxury decides to build something that rivals the world's fiercest performance machines? The 2026 Maybach SL Mythos isn't just another high-end cruiser. It's packing a twin-turbo V8 that can go toe-to-toe with supercars while wrapping you in more luxury than most mansions. It's bold, it's outrageous, and it's unlike anything Maybach has dared to make before. But is this a masterpiece that redefines what a luxury car can be? Or just an overhyped showpiece? Let's find out. Setup. The Maybach name has always stood for exclusivity, craftsmanship, and the kind of luxury that makes even the most premium sedans feel ordinary. But the 2026 Maybach SL Mythos takes things in a bold new direction. This isn't just a car designed to be chauffeured in. It's a machine that blends Maybach's heritage of elegance with the raw performance DNA of Mercedes-AMG. Positioned as a flagship Grand Tourer, the SL Mythos is built for the type of buyer who wants breathtaking speed and technology without sacrificing comfort or presence. What makes this launch so important is how sharply it breaks from the mold. Maybach hasn't just polished an existing Mercedes model. they've created something that aims to compete with both ultra-luxury icons and exotic performance cars. The design language is unmistakably Maybach, sleek, commanding and dripping in detail. But beneath the surface, it promises the kind of heart-pounding capability we don't usually associate with this brand. And that's where things get interesting. Is the SL Mythos truly the perfect balance of power and prestige? Or has Maybach stepped into territory better left to others? In just a moment, we'll break down every detail, from design and interior luxury to performance numbers, and see if this car really lives up to the myth in its name. Rising action. From the very first glance, the 2026 Maybach SL Mythos commands attention. The wide stance, sculpted fenders, and signature Maybach grille make it look less like a car and more like a rolling piece of architecture. Every curve seems deliberate, every line meant to signal presence. Then you notice the proportions. Long hood, short rear deck, and wheels so massive they fill the arches like jewelry. It's a luxury grand tour that doesn't just whisper elegance, it shouts it. Step inside, and the story gets even more dramatic. The cabin feels less like a cockpit and more like a private lounge designed for royalty. Quilted Napa leather wraps across nearly every surface, accented by real wood and brushed aluminum. Ambient lighting isn't just a gimmick here. It's layered, customizable, and designed to shift mood with the tap of a finger. And then there's the tech. A massive central display dominates the dash, running Mercedes' latest MBUX system.
Paired with an augmented reality head-up display and a 4D Burmester sound system that doesn't just play music, it surrounds you in it.
It's the kind of interior where every drive feels like an event, but the real surprise comes when you hit the start button. Beneath that long hood lives a handcrafted twin-turbocharged V8 pushing out over 600 horsepower. Power delivery is smooth, but when pressed, the Mythos surges forward with the kind of urgency you'd expect from a dedicated sports car, not a luxury flagship. 0 to 60 happens in around 3.5 seconds, which puts it in the same league as performance icons. Yet despite the numbers, it never loses that Maybach composure. Adaptive air suspension smooths out rough roads. Rear-wheel steering shrinks the car's size in corners, and multiple drive modes let you dial in everything from relaxed cruising to hair-raising acceleration. Of course, no car is flawless. The very size and weight that give the SL Mythos its planted feel also mean it's not as nimble as a lightweight sports coupe. Parking in tight city spots? That's going to test your patience. And while the interior is dripping with luxury, some might argue it leans heavily on Mercedes' existing design language instead of carving out a truly unique Maybach identity. Still, the overall package is nothing short of jaw-dropping. It's rare to find a car that can carry you across states in absolute comfort, then deliver track-level performance when the road opens up. It's as if Maybach has decided that being chauffeured isn't enough anymore. Now, they want you to take the wheel yourself. And here's where things get really interesting. The Mythos isn't just about performance and luxury. The big question, how much does this twin-turbo V8 masterpiece actually cost? And is it worth the asking price? Well, the answer might surprise you. But before we get into pricing and final verdicts, let's take a closer look at the biggest highlights and the drawbacks you'll want to know before making any decision. Climax. This is the moment where everything we've talked about, the design, the luxury, the promise of performance, comes to a head. Out on the open road, the 2026 Maybach SL Mythos doesn't just meet expectations, it explodes past them. You press the accelerator and instead of a muted, polite surge, the twin-turbo V8 roars to life with an intensity you simply don't expect from a Maybach. The car lunges forward, the horizon rushing to meet you, while the cabin remains eerily calm, like riding a bullet train wrapped in velvet. Corner after corner, you brace yourself for the weight to show its limits. But the adaptive suspension and rear-wheel steering keep the Mythos flat and composed, almost defying physics. It feels as if Maybach secretly borrowed AMG's best engineers and told them, "Build us something unforgettable." And unforgettable is exactly what this is. Then comes the real shocker. Despite its supercar acceleration, the SL Mythos never loses its Grand Tourer soul. Switch it into comfort mode, and suddenly you're gliding across the asphalt in silence, cocooned by leather, wood, and sound insulation so thick you forget there's an 8-cylinder beast under the hood. Few cars can shift personalities this seamlessly, from gentleman in a tuxedo to unleashed predator, yet the Mythos does it effortlessly. But here's the turning point. For all its brilliance, this isn't a car for everyone. Its sheer size, its eye-watering price tag, and its exclusivity mean it will remain a dream, not a driveway reality, for most enthusiasts. And maybe that's the point. The SL Mythos isn't trying to be everything to everyone. It's trying to be the ultimate expression of what Maybach stands for. So, has Maybach truly redefined what a luxury performance car can be? Or have they simply created a masterpiece meant only for the chosen few? That's the question we need to answer in our final verdict: resolution and impact. So after experiencing everything the 2026 Maybach SL Mythos has to offer, where does it really land? In short, it's one of the boldest statements Maybach has ever made. The pros are undeniable: jaw-dropping design that blends elegance with presence, an interior that feels closer to a private lounge than a cockpit, and performance numbers that allow it to sit comfortably alongside genuine supercars. The fact that it can deliver blistering acceleration one moment and serene comfort the next makes it one of the most versatile ultra-luxury machines on the road. But it's not perfect. Its massive proportions can feel intimidating in city driving, and parking is nothing short of an event. The interior, while gorgeous, borrows heavily from Mercedes's playbook, which may leave some buyers wanting a touch more exclusivity. And of course, the price tag ensures that only a tiny fraction of drivers will ever get close enough to call it their own. So who is this car really for? The SL Mythos is aimed squarely at the ultra-wealthy buyer who wants more than a Bentley Continental or an Aston Martin DB12. Someone who craves a vehicle that combines prestige, performance, and rarity in equal measure. For that audience, the Mythos isn't just worth considering, it might just be irresistible. In the bigger picture, this car shows that Maybach isn't content with being the quiet, chauffeured alternative anymore. They're stepping into the spotlight, challenging the very idea of what a luxury car can be. And if other luxury automakers are watching, and they are, you can bet this move will push the segment toward even more performance-driven flagships in the years to come. So what do you think? Has Maybach created the ultimate blend of power and prestige, or have they pushed too far into unfamiliar territory? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with fellow car enthusiasts, because the conversation is just getting started. Imagine a car that blends cutting-edge electric innovation with the soul of a true performance machine. The 2026 Jaguar GT isn't just another luxury sports car. It's a bold statement that could redefine what driving passion feels like in the electric age.
With jaw-dropping speed, head-turning design, and technology straight out of the future, Jaguar claims this might be their most ambitious creation yet.
But does it really live up to the hype? Or is it just clever marketing wrapped in a sleek body? Let's find out. When you think of Jaguar, one word immediately comes to mind: elegance. For decades, the brand has built its reputation on crafting cars that are not just vehicles, but statements of style and performance. From the legendary E-Type to today's refined sedans and SUVs, Jaguar has always carried a sense of exclusivity. Now, with the arrival of the 2026 Jaguar GT, the company is stepping into an entirely new chapter. This isn't just another luxury coupe. It's a bold attempt to merge classic British craftsmanship with the future of electric performance. Jaguar wants the GT to do more than turn heads. It's designed to compete directly with heavy hitters like Porsche's Taycan, Tesla's Roadster, and even Aston Martin's latest electrified models. In other words, this car isn't just entering the market. It's entering a battlefield. But what makes this launch especially important is timing. The US market is at a tipping point. Drivers want electric power, but they don't want to sacrifice thrill, style, or prestige. Jaguar is betting the GT can be the perfect answer. A car that feels just as exciting as its gas-powered icons. So, does the 2026 Jaguar GT truly have what it takes to stand out in this new era of luxury sports cars? Let's dive deeper. The first thing that grabs you about the 2026 Jaguar GT is its design. Sleek, wide, and impossibly low, it carries the kind of proportions that demand attention. The front fascia is sharp and predatory, with thin LED lighting that gives it a futuristic yet unmistakably Jaguar look. From the side, the coupe-like silhouette stretches gracefully, almost as if it's carved by the wind itself. And then there are the wheels, massive, performance-focused alloys that fill the arches with a stance that screams confidence. In person, this isn't just a car, it feels like an event. Step inside, and Jaguar continues that impression. The cabin is a mix of ultra-modern tech and timeless luxury. A sweeping digital cockpit wraps around the driver, while tactile details, like real metal switches and soft-touch leather, remind you this is still a brand rooted in craftsmanship. Ambient lighting flows across the interior, adapting to your drive mode, whether you're in calm cruise mode or ready to unleash performance. And unlike some competitors that feel more like spaceships than cars, Jaguar strikes a balance. It feels futuristic without losing its soul. But here's where things get even more interesting. Performance. Jaguar claims the GT can sprint from 0 to 60 mph in under 3 seconds, thanks to dual-motor all-wheel drive and a next-generation battery system delivering over 600 horsepower. That puts it squarely in the same conversation as the Porsche Taycan Turbo S and Tesla's upcoming Roadster. Yet Jaguar insists it hasn't just built a numbers car. Engineers have focused heavily on handling, with an adaptive suspension system that promises to blend comfort and cornering precision in a way few EVs manage. Imagine carving through mountain roads with instant torque at your disposal, but without the jarring stiffness some performance EVs suffer from. Range is another critical point. Early estimates suggest the GT will offer up to 350 miles on a single charge, which positions it well for daily usability. And with fast charging capability, Jaguar says you can recover up to 80% in about 20 minutes. It's not groundbreaking by Tesla standards, but combined with Jaguar's focus on driving feel, it might be enough to sway buyers who value experience over pure numbers. Of course, no car is perfect. The GT's sloping roofline does compromise rear headroom, and while the trunk space is decent, it won't outmatch a practical EV sedan. And then there's the question of pricing. Jaguar hasn't officially confirmed it yet, but whispers suggest it could land somewhere between $120,000 and $150,000. That's a serious number, one that puts it in direct competition with brands that have already proven themselves in the EV world. Still, Jaguar seems confident that the GT offers something others don't, the rare blend of heritage, emotion, and cutting-edge performance. It's aiming to be more than just another electric option. It wants to be the electric sports car that rekindles driving passion. But here's the real question. Will those performance claims hold up in the real world? In a moment, we'll break down the highlights, drawbacks, and where this car truly shines or falls short. This is the moment where the numbers and design meet reality, because specs are one thing, but how a car feels on the road is what truly defines it. Behind the wheel of the 2026 Jaguar GT, the first surprise is silence. Tap the accelerator, and instead of a roar, you're met with instant, forceful thrust that presses you back into the seat. The car rockets forward with such urgency that the world outside blurs before your eyes. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds doesn't just sound fast. It feels like controlled chaos. But here's the real shocker. It isn't just about speed in a straight line. Jaguar has engineered something rare in the EV world, soulful handling. Sweep into a corner, and the adaptive suspension tightens up, giving the car a poised, almost dancer-like balance. It feels alive, communicative, and, dare I say, fun. For years, critics have complained that electric sports cars lack emotion, but the GT flips that narrative on its head. And yet, the climax isn't all victory. Push it harder, and the weight of the battery pack makes itself known. On tighter switchbacks, you can sense the heft, reminding you that no amount of engineering can fully hide physics. Still, instead of breaking the spell, it makes the achievement more impressive. Jaguar has created a car that feels lighter than it should, more responsive than you expect, and more connected than most rivals dare to be. So, is this the moment Jaguar reclaims its place among legends? Or are we just witnessing a beautifully packaged promise? One thing's certain, the GT doesn't just perform, it surprises. And what comes next could be the deciding factor for anyone considering this car. So, after everything we've seen and felt, Where does the 2026 Jaguar GT truly land? The answer is clear. Jaguar has built one of the boldest and most emotionally charged electric sports cars on the market today. It blends striking design, blistering speed, and surprisingly soulful handling into a package that feels both futuristic and unmistakably Jaguar. The pros are undeniable: an exterior that turns heads anywhere it goes, an interior that balances luxury with tech, performance that rivals the best in class, and a driving experience that manages to stir genuine excitement in an era where many EVs feel cold and clinical. Add in a respectable 350-mile range and fast charging capability, and you have a car that fits daily usability as much as weekend thrills. But the cons are just as real. Rear seat practicality is limited, storage space won't impress families, and the expected six-figure price tag places it in competition with brands like Porsche, Tesla, and Aston Martin, companies that already have established EV track records. That means the GT won't be for everyone. So who is it for? The 2026 Jaguar GT is aimed at buyers who crave exclusivity, who want more than just numbers on a spec sheet. It's for those who want a car that looks like a piece of art, drives like a weapon, and makes every journey feel like a statement. In the context of the US market, this car is more than a luxury option. It's a sign of where the future is heading. It proves that electric doesn't have to mean soulless, and that heritage brands like Jaguar can still reinvent themselves without losing their identity. If anything, it sets the stage for a future where EVs aren't just practical, they're desirable. So what do you think? Is the Jaguar GT the spark that reignites passion for electric sports cars? Or is it a beautiful gamble in a crowded field? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we've got plenty more first looks, comparisons, and reviews coming your way. What if I told you one of America's most legendary muscle cars is back? Only this time, it doesn't roar with gasoline, it hums with electricity. That's right. The 2026 Buick Grand National GNX EV has arrived, and it's rewriting the muscle car playbook in ways nobody expected. We're talking outrageous design, shocking performance claims, and a bold attempt to fuse nostalgia with the EV future. But here's the big question. Does this new GNX truly deserve its iconic badge, or is it just another nameplate revival? Stick around, because by the end of this review, you'll know whether this is the muscle car comeback we've been waiting for. Setup. The car we're looking at today isn't just another release, it's a resurrection. Buick has decided to bring back one of its most iconic nameplates, the Grand National GNX, but this time with a dramatic twist. It's all electric. For those who remember the 1980s original, the GNX was a street legend, an underdog that embarrassed bigger, flashier sports cars with raw speed and attitude. Fast forward to 2026, and Buick is hoping to recapture that same magic while proving it can thrive in an EV-dominated market. Why does this matter? Because muscle cars are at a crossroads. Dodge has already announced electrified versions of its Charger. Ford's Mustang lineup has leaned into hybrid and EV territory, and now Buick is stepping in with a bold play of its own. The GNX EV isn't just targeting die-hard enthusiasts. It's also aimed at younger drivers who crave performance without the guilt of gas prices or emissions. It's heritage meeting high-tech, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down how this car looks, feels, and drives, or hums. We'll explore whether Buick has truly brought back a legend, or if this is simply nostalgia dressed up in a shiny new EV package. And trust me, the details ahead may surprise you. Rising action. Now let's dive into what makes the 2026 Buick Grand National GNX EV such a head-turner. The first thing you'll notice is the design. It's bold, muscular, and unapologetically wide. Buick has given it exaggerated fender flares, an aggressive stance, and a front fascia that nods to the original GNX while embracing modern aerodynamics. The glossy black finish, sharp LED lighting, and retro-inspired badging make it instantly recognizable, yet futuristic at the same time. It's the kind of car that looks just as intimidating in your rearview mirror as it does parked at a car meet. Step inside, and the surprises continue. Buick has clearly aimed to blend luxury with performance here. The cabin features premium leather seating, brushed aluminum accents, and a massive infotainment screen that integrates seamlessly with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Buick's new EV software suite. The digital instrument cluster gives you real-time performance metrics, while ambient lighting shifts colors depending on your drive mode. It's part retro cool, part cutting-edge tech, and it feels like Buick really wanted to elevate this interior to compete not only with American rivals, but also with luxury imports. But of course, none of this would matter if the performance didn't back it up. And this is where the GNX EV makes its boldest statement. Powered by dual electric motors, it delivers a jaw-dropping 720 horsepower and instant torque. That means 0 to 60 in just about 3 seconds flat. For a Buick, that's almost unbelievable. But the numbers speak for themselves. The all-wheel drive system ensures traction is never an issue, whether you're launching off the line or taking on winding roads. Range comes in at a respectable 310 miles on a full charge, and with DC fast charging, you can recover about 200 miles in under 20 minutes. It's muscle performance, reimagined for the EV era. Still, no car is perfect. The GNX EV's weight, thanks to its large battery pack, can be felt during hard cornering. While it's stable and planted, purists may argue it doesn't deliver the same raw, visceral feedback as the original gas-powered GNX. And while the interior tech is impressive, some may find the massive screens a bit distracting compared to the simplicity of older muscle cars. These aren't deal breakers, but they are worth noting if you're expecting a one-to-one recreation of the past. Where this car really shines, though, is in its ability to bridge generations. For older enthusiasts, it carries the spirit of the 1980s legend. For younger buyers, it offers futuristic performance without the environmental baggage. It's not trying to be a copy of the past. It's trying to be the future of what muscle cars can mean. And that's where Buick may have struck gold. But here's where things get really interesting. We've talked design, luxury, and performance. But what about the cost? Does the GNX EV come with a price tag that makes it a realistic option? Or does it put it out of reach for most buyers? That's coming up next. And trust me, you'll want to hear it. Climax. This is the moment where all the speculation meets reality. The GNX EV's true test on the road. Numbers on paper are one thing, but how does this machine actually feel when you put your foot down? The answer, shocking. The instant torque slams you back into the seat with a force that rivals supercars costing twice as much. 0 to 60 in around 3 seconds doesn't just sound fast. It feels like being launched from a slingshot. It's the kind of acceleration that leaves passengers laughing, shouting, or simply stunned into silence. But here's the twist. What makes it so memorable isn't just the raw speed. It's the silence that comes with it. There's no roaring V6 like the original GNX, no exhaust note echoing off the walls. Instead, you hear a futuristic hum, paired with the faint whistle of wind rushing past. For some, that might feel like a letdown. For others, it's a reminder that this is muscle car power redefined for a new era. And when you corner hard, the low center of gravity from the battery pack keeps the car glued to the road, making it far more composed than you'd expect from something this heavy. Still, the weight does show itself in tight bends. There's no denying physics. Enthusiasts who crave the raw, unpredictable character of the old GNX may find this version too polished, too refined. Yet, for drivers who want blistering performance with everyday usability, the balance is nearly perfect. It's not a copy of the past, it's a new chapter entirely. So here's the turning point. The GNX EV doesn't just live up to the hype, it redefines it. It proves that electric muscle isn't a contradiction, it's the future. The only real question now is whether fans of the original will embrace this new identity or dismiss it as something entirely different. And that's exactly where our verdict comes in next. Resolution and impact. So where does that leave us with the 2026 Buick Grand National GNX EV? After taking a closer look, it's clear this isn't just a nostalgic nameplate slapped on an electric platform. It's Buick making a bold statement about its future. The pros are hard to ignore. Jaw-dropping acceleration, a design that commands attention, a premium interior that finally feels competitive, and a respectable driving range that makes this EV practical for daily use. Add in the fast charging capabilities, and you've got a car that's not just quick in performance, but quick to get back on the road too. But there are drawbacks, and they're worth considering. The GNX EV's weight can dampen the pure muscle car feel some enthusiasts crave. Its oversized digital displays may not appeal to purists who long for simplicity. And let's be honest, this isn't going to be the most affordable EV on the market. The GNX EV will speak most loudly to buyers who want power, presence, and prestige rolled into one package. It's for the driver who wants to relive the spirit of the past without being stuck in it, and for the new generation that wants performance without compromise on emissions or tech. In the bigger picture, Buick's move shows us just how quickly the definition of a muscle car is evolving in the US market. Dodge, Ford, and now Buick are proving that the EV revolution isn't about losing excitement, it's about redefining it. The GNX EV may not be the perfect spiritual successor to the original, but it's a clear sign that muscle cars still have a future, even in a world where gas engines are fading. So here's the big question. Is the 2026 GNX EV the rebirth of a legend, or the start of something entirely new? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear if you think Buick nailed it or missed the mark. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more reviews just like this. Until next time, drive safe and stay curious. Imagine a legendary name from the golden age of American cars roaring back to life in 2026. That's right, the Chevrolet Bel Air has returned, and it's not just a trip down memory lane. On the outside, it channels pure retro charm, but under the hood, it's packing the kind of modern performance and technology you'd expect from today's top contenders. Some say it's the boldest comeback in Chevy's history, while others wonder if it can really stand up to modern rivals. So, is this the perfect blend of classic style and cutting-edge power? Or just nostalgia dressed in chrome? Let's find out. The Chevrolet Bel Air isn't just another car launch. It's the revival of one of the most iconic nameplates in American automotive history. First introduced in the 1950s, the Bel Air became a symbol of style, cruising culture, and everyday performance that defined a generation. Now, in 2026, Chevrolet is bringing it back, not as a retro showpiece, but as a fully modern car designed to compete in today's fast-paced market. What makes this launch so interesting is how Chevy is walking a fine line. On one hand, the Bel Air has to capture the nostalgic soul of the classic, something that appeals to enthusiasts who grew up idolizing the original. On the other hand, it needs to deliver the kind of technology, safety, and efficiency that today's buyers demand. That balance isn't easy, and it raises a big question. Can a retro-inspired comeback car truly satisfy both worlds? This return isn't just about styling, it's about positioning. Chevrolet wants the new Bel Air to speak to multiple audiences, the lifelong fans who want to relive an era, and the younger drivers who expect performance, practicality, and smart features in their daily ride. That makes it one of the most daring moves Chevy has attempted in recent years. And in just a moment, we'll break down its design, interior, performance, and pricing to see if this comeback lives up to the hype, or if the legend should have stayed in the past. Now that the stage is set, let's dive into what makes the 2026 Chevrolet Bel Air such a fascinating comeback story. At first glance, the exterior grabs your attention instantly. Wide chrome accents, a bold front grille, and those unmistakable retro-inspired lines give it that vintage presence, yet the proportions and detailing are unmistakably modern. LED headlights with a throwback twist, flush door handles, and muscular fender curves all signal that this isn't just nostalgia. It's nostalgia refined for today's streets. Step inside, and the story continues. Chevrolet has clearly aimed to blend the soul of the past with the comfort of the present. The cabin mixes classic two-tone patterns and chrome trim with massive digital displays, wireless connectivity, and a driver-focused cockpit. You've got wide, supportive seats that nod to the lounge-like cruisers of old, but with heating, cooling, and even massage functions that take them well into the future. The balance of retro charm and modern luxury feels deliberate, and it works. Of course, design is only half the equation. Performance is where the Bel Air really makes a statement. Buyers can choose between a turbocharged four-cylinder tuned for efficiency, a muscular V6 that echoes the car's golden era roots. And here's the kicker, an available hybrid setup that combines classic driving feel with modern-day economy. The top-end model pushes well over 400 horsepower, which means this isn't just a pretty face. It's built to perform. Acceleration is quick, steering feels precise, and there's enough suspension tuning to make it comfortable for daily driving while still lively on the highway. But it's not flawless. That wide stance that makes it look so bold, it can make tight city parking a challenge. And while the interior is beautifully designed, some may find the rear seats a little snug compared to rivals in the same price bracket. Still, these trade-offs might be worth it for drivers who value character over cookie-cutter practicality. Chevy has also packed in modern safety tech, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, and even semi-autonomous driving features. It's the kind of package that makes the Bel Air not just a style piece, but a true contender in today's market. Here's the real cliffhanger, though. All of this comes at a price point that might surprise you. In just a moment, we'll weigh those numbers against what you're really getting, and whether the Bel Air offers genuine value, or if it's relying too heavily on its iconic badge to justify the cost. And this is where the 2026 Chevrolet Bel Air truly reveals its hand. On paper, the numbers sounded impressive, but in real-world driving, the experience is even more surprising. Press the accelerator, and the top-spec Bel Air doesn't just move. It surges forward with the kind of urgency you'd expect from a modern muscle car. That 400-plus horsepower isn't just for bragging rights. It translates into a 0 to 60 sprint that comfortably undercuts some of its closest rivals. For a car wearing such a nostalgic badge, it feels shockingly modern behind the wheel. But it's not just raw speed. The steering is sharp and responsive, and the suspension manages to strike that sweet spot. Firm enough to keep the car planted in corners, yet soft enough that long highway stretches feel almost effortless. It's here where the Bel Air proves it's more than just a retro tribute. It's a driver's car, built to handle both daily commutes and spirited weekend drives. Yet the surprises don't stop there. In our efficiency test, the hybrid variant delivered better mileage than expected, putting it in direct competition with more mainstream sedans and crossovers. It's a rare case of a nostalgic revival actually working in the real world, not just in glossy promo shots. Of course, no car is perfect. The size can feel bulky in tight urban settings, and the rear seat compromises remain noticeable. But when you're behind the wheel, those drawbacks fade into the background, replaced by a grin-inducing drive that feels both familiar and refreshingly new. So, is the 2026 Chevrolet Bel Air a gimmick wrapped in chrome? Or has Chevrolet genuinely pulled off one of the boldest comebacks in recent years? Let's bring it all together in the final verdict. So, after spending time with the 2026 Chevrolet Bel Air, it's clear this isn't just another nostalgia play. Chevy could have easily slapped a retro badge on a standard platform and called it a day, but they didn't. Instead, they built a car that blends throwback charm with modern performance and technology in a way that actually works in today's market. The pros are easy to see: striking retro-inspired design, a surprisingly refined and comfortable interior, strong performance options, including that hybrid system, and safety tech that makes it feel like a car of the future rather than a relic of the past. On the flip side, the wide body and tight rear seats may not suit everyone, and parking in crowded cities won't be its strong suit. But if you're willing to trade a little practicality for personality, those drawbacks don't feel like deal breakers. So who is the new Bel Air really for? If you're an enthusiast who remembers the glory days of American cruisers, this car gives you a chance to relive that era without sacrificing modern conveniences. If you're a younger driver looking for something unique that stands out from the endless sea of crossovers, the Bel Air offers character, style, and driving excitement you won't find elsewhere. In the bigger picture, the return of the Bel Air signals something important. Automakers are starting to realize that blending heritage with innovation might be the formula buyers are craving. It's not just about building efficient cars. It's about building cars with soul, cars that connect generations. So, is the 2026 Chevrolet Bel Air perfect? No. But is it one of the boldest and most exciting revivals we've seen in recent years? Absolutely. Now the real question is, would you put the Bel Air in your driveway? Or do you think Chevy leaned too hard on nostalgia? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the cars shaping tomorrow's roads.